everyone, this is Sisyphean, and I'm making this video because one of the questions that people ask me online a lot is, how do you maintain this level of motivation? You tell us that you have been uploading almost every day for 3 years, more than like once a day, or that you have metastasized in 20 different platforms, or you started your own business, and in the meantime you rescue cats, and then you get obsessed with crazy Asian men, and how do you have time for all of that? There is a pandemic, we don't even want to get out of bed, we want to binge watch Netflix with a bag of chips and wait to die, like doomer scrolling on YouTube and all of that stuff. So today, because I don't consider myself better than anyone, if anything, a lot of my knowledge comes from the fact that I was a basement dweller for 10 years. And if you don't know what I'm talking about and you are new to my channel, I had abusive parents, I also have Asperger's, so from 7 to 17 pretty much it was school, home, on holiday, just home, studying, and so on. So I have like an inner incel shit poster trapped in a female assigned at birth body. But I learned some things from that and I'm going to share them with you, and you are going to find motivation in life. The first step is understanding why you end up unmotivated, because there was a time in my life that I couldn't get out of bed, that at 1 p.m. I would crawl out of bed to the kitchen to drag myself and take my 15 different medication in the morning like an old person. I even had one of those bags that people who need different types of pills have, that the pharmacy had given me for free because I was buying all kinds of pills from them. And then I would crawl to do the things that I had to do at the horrible job that I had. And when I had 1 hour or 2 hours free during the week, I was supposed to spend it on what I call forced cultural work bonding, where you have to spend time with your colleagues, although they have the personality of a dead fish. And then people would say, well, Persephone, you are depressed. Have you considered taking antidepressants? What is with this lack of motivation? Have you checked your iron levels? Maybe you need to take even more medication. I'm telling you, when it comes to medication, because I have an autoimmune genetic disorder, you name it, I was on it. Antidepressants, I was on it. Painkillers, I was on it. Antihistamines, I was on it. Immunosuppressants, I was on it. Like, you could look at me and you would say, this person, why does she need so much medication? She's about to die soon. She's getting 6 feet under next year. The way I ended up in this situation was very, very common. Society kept pushing the holy life script on me. The holy life script is pretty much that you have to be white, you have to be tall, you have to have 1.8 kids, have a huge house with 4 bedrooms, get married, work, take loans. Eventually your kids get older, they leave the house, you have to take more loans to send them into college, they also have to take loans to maintain being in college, and eventually you retire like a king at 65. That is the holy life script, and even now it's insane how many people try to enforce of you that you have to be straight, you have to be of a specific race, you have to have a specific number of kids. It's like as if, as a woman especially, you own society kids, that it's your responsibility, although society did everything it could to keep you a loser, sick, overweight, and depressed, but no, you still have to pop out those 1.8 kids. And because I was autistic and because I never had the space to know myself, because I was in a survival mode, I was thinking, okay, everyone told me all of my life that I'm a basement dweller who will never be anything, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to ace this like normie thing, normie maxing if you are into incel terminology. So I got a job that required me to work 14 to 16 hours a day. I got married in college at an age that people should not be getting married. And I kept going and I started getting sick. If you ask why were you getting sick, because the job was 14 hours of the day. I didn't have time to eat healthy food. Most of the times I didn't even have time to eat, period. I had lost 20 pounds. It was the most ancient diet in the world, called I don't have time to eat. Sometimes I don't even have money to eat because I've spent all of my money trying to buy a wardrobe for the job, to go out into those expensive dinner parties and going out for drinks with colleagues, although I hate drinking, and I was living an extremely fake existence. So my question is, are you in a similar situation? Because Out of all of the people I've spoken to, we're talking thousands of people all over the world, all races, all occupations, all genders, all sexual orientations. I see a common pattern. They live a lie. And by living a lie, I mean usually it's one out of the two extremes. Either you try too hard to be a normie, to be a neurotypical, and you fail, and you want really unconventional things by society, and you can't go after them because everyone is telling you that you shouldn't go after them, and it's very difficult to be the psycho who does things alone because, okay, I have the autism protecting me from, really understanding what other people feel a lot of the times, but if you are more normal than me, you don't have that filter. Or you want really conventional things, and you don't know how to get them, and society is shaming you. And now we've reached the brain and ball twilight zone, and you're going to say, what the hell does that mean? We're going to start by the approach that is the more unconventional one. Let's say you are a male, you're a beta male. You are not 6 feet tall, you don't have a huge penis, you're not the kind of guy that women just throw themselves at in real life, or women that you have a ton of matches on Tinder, and you're actually kind of a romantic person or an introverted person, and you would like to get married and have kids. But you never had any success with women, and society is telling you that you need to become Chad, you need to become this strong, alpha, fearless, sociopath or narcissist that makes 6 figures and has a six-pack, and you tried and you tried and you can't. Then you tried the pick-up artist stuff or the dating bootcamp, and that also failed. Then you tried advice from family and friends, and they told you mind-blowingly stupid shit like just get a haircut, just get a shower, just go out more. You started doing cold approaching random women. You almost got arrested, you were labeled a sex offender, and now you're sitting, like I said, doomer scrolling on the internet, and you found my video. The problem is not you. The problem is that society is actually sabotaging you. And society is telling you that you need to be a specific kind of guy to be successful, when that has not been true for thousands of years. And if you just say this to get money out of beta men, you can look at Elon Musk. I by no means consider Elon Musk an alpha. He was a beta growing up. He has been rejected by women like Amber Heard. He had a hair transplant, and he's still kicking ass. And there have been so many careers for beta men, especially scientific careers and technology, like related careers, and beta men have been taking humanity to the next level. But everyone told you that this is not good enough, you're just a simp, that you're a loser if you want a woman to love you, and you have been coping hard and you don't know what to do. So if you want to know the first secret to that is unapologetically accept yourself and accept what you want. No matter how taboo it is, no matter how much you know that everyone is going to be mad if they find out what you want, if your why is strong enough, your how will follow, your motivation will follow. Another variation of that is if you are a beta man who actually has fetishes. For example, you question your sexuality. Male sexuality is way more fluid than people think, and I'm going to post book review videos soon that they're going to be related to that. Or you want to try being in a cuckold relationship, or in a polyamory relationship, or something like that. And everyone again is telling you you're going to go to hell, you have to be normal, you have to be Chad, and you can't. Or you want to be feminized, you want to transition. By the way, the amount of hate I get from people thinking that I'm trans is insane. I'm not trans, but if I was, like what? Who cares? Why are you so obsessed and invested into what genitals do I have? This is so gross, and it shows how bad trans people actually have it. So everyone is telling you again, you need to suppress that, you need to be a guy, you need to be straight, you need this, you need that, and again you're depressed. Another variation is that you're actually just unconventional in general. You don't want kids. You don't want a 9-to-5 job. You don't want any job. You just want something that barely pays the bills so you can rot in your home in peace. Is that really so bad? So what happens is that you're essentially being denied the right to choose, because everyone has chosen before you, and they're going to force you to be one of them. They're going to force you back into the matrix while I'm trying to unplug you here. Or you're the other category of male who finds me that you have been married ever since, 2,000 years ago. Your wife doesn't care. She has become morbidly obese. She has a dead bedroom with you ever since 1997. you feel that you have a midlife crisis, or you had a health scare and your life is slipping away and you don't know what to do, and society says you gave up, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't chase your dreams, you shouldn't chase road maxing in the basement, you should get married, you shouldn't divorce. I'm telling you that in my case, what happened is that eventually my autoimmune disorder progressed from stage 1 to stage 2, and I needed to be to have an emergency hospitalization. That was in the pre-pandemic time, so it was still safe to go to the hospital. And I was sitting there plugged in machines with more medication, thinking, I can predict with 95% accuracy how the next 50 years of my life are going to play out. And I'm probably going to continue being married to the same boring person who doesn't let me write, who doesn't let me pick my friends, because I have so little free time that my colleagues have to be my friends. Probably I'm going to have a kid or two. I'm going to be working the same shit job until one day I die from the stress. Then I'm going to be up to my eyeballs in debt until my kids become old, and then I'm going to be 65, I'm going to need 40 medications at best if I'm alive, and then I'm going to retire and do what? Go golfing. I don't even like golf. So the whole thing was such a bullshit that I had a mental breakdown, and I packed my stuff and I left the hospital and I filed for divorce. And one thing brought the other. If you're interested in the in-between drama, you can watch my channel. But my point is, that day where I realized that I'm down on a death path, that I'm going to die the most horrible death, that was also a great gift. I found that I'm never again, for any loser, going to compromise who I am and sell myself short for what society says. And I believe that each generation has an obligation to the future generations. I'm a millennial. So I believe our obligation, if we're going to pick one, is accepting more diversity in society and accepting more diversity in humanity. By diversity, I mean you don't have to be straight, you don't have to have kids, you don't have to be married, you don't have to be in the same job for the rest of your life, and you don't have to have a career if you don't want to. And also, it's okay to think you want a career, or to think you got married and you made a good choice, and 10 years down the road to realize that it's not the right choice anymore, or that it was never the right choice, and reboot, start, do your own thing. We live in a society that has demonized failure, it has demonized divorce, it has demonized childlessness, and it has demonized sexual orientation. Because I get so many messages from people saying you are better as a guy, and why did you do this to yourself, and why did you take hormones, and I was female assigned at birth, why do you look masculine? Because they say that supposedly one of the theories that the reason you're autistic is that you were exposed to too many androgens as a fetus, as an unborn baby. I don't know. The problem is, why is it triggering you so much that some person on the other side of the planet may or may not took hormones and you need to write 10 paragraphs? And also, one more thing to close this video, and I'm going to tell you, summarize what you need to do, is your friends and family, they're not on your side. Because usually, misery loves company. I'm always saying that. I started YouTube with 0 people on my side. Everyone told me, you're going to fail, you're just an autistic freak, who would watch you? There are so many other YouTubers, who would care what you have to say? Everyone told me, just forget about it, shut the fuck up and go back to your horrible job that was supposedly 9 to 5, but in reality it was from 7 a.m. to often until midnight. And everyone was against it when I wanted to divorce. Although my ex couldn't care less about the fact that I was in my early 20s and I needed 20 medications to get through the day. And he was a psychiatrist. He brushed it off to Western way of life. Just take your meds and go back to work. And if you feel bad, we can always increase your antidepressants. Well, how about no? So there is this other taboo that you need to be announcing your goals, you need to be announcing your intentions, you need to consult your mom, your dad, your dog, your best friend, your pastor, your online friend, your gamer friend, and your ex-girlfriend before you make a decision. Your life is not a freaking referendum. Your life is not a freaking Athenian agora where people are going to gather and vote before you even take a bathroom break. So, if you feel unmotivated right now and you watch me and you want to get motivated, step 1, you sit down with yourself and you do some self-reflection, soul-searching. It's okay to read books, it's okay to watch videos, it's okay to do whatever you want to do to realize what you really want. Step 2, after you find out what you really want, let's say you want to become a truly feminine sissy who lives in Thailand and doesn't have a career, just has a blue-collar job that pays the bills. Okay, although for a sissy that's not really a good idea because you're going to need a lot of money for feminization. But okay, let's say you pick a plan. You zip your mouth and you never tell anything to anyone about it. And you start working in secret, doing at least one thing every day that is going to bring you closer to that plan. I say that you should keep it secret because people are going to sabotage you, people are going to try to talk you out of it because they are still trapped in the holy life script and they want you there. Because if you're not there, that's an extremely painful reminder of them being cowards, them being losers, and so on. And if you absolutely need to talk to someone, if you absolutely need some support, you can join online groups, you can join, for example, communities of like-minded people. Like if you're trying to lose weight, you can choose a forum where people try to lose weight. Or, like I said, my OnlyFans is open, my Patreon is open. If you want to talk to me, those are the ways. And you are going to keep working towards it. And I'm telling you, I went from a person who took 20 medications to get through the day and was crawling. I went to a person who wakes up at 3 a.m. And how do I wake up at 3 a.m.? I try to sleep from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. and I recommend you to do that because it's actually the most energizing sleep. Like pretty much go to sleep when the sun sets and try to get up when the sun at sunrise. Your body will soon adjust. The first month is hell, but after that, your body will adjust. And I get up at 3 a.m. and I'm happy because I'm working towards a future I want. And not the future that everyone else told me that, you should want this and this and this and this, otherwise you're a bad person, otherwise you're a coward, otherwise you're a failure. And it's okay if those people consider me a failure, because those people were not dying in the hospital bed, I was. And I make this video because I don't want you to hit such a rock bottom like I did. When I packed and I left and everyone said, your job pays the bills, what do you want? Do you want to be a millionaire? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to be a digital nomad? Who do you think you are? You're just a creep. Or people saying, well, your ex doesn't hit you. He doesn't cheat on you. What do you think? That's marriage. Let me tell you something a few years later, that's not marriage at all. And you can find people that you can feel that you're much, much more compatible with them than with someone that he says he loves you, but then he lets you take 20 medication and suffer and he doesn't do anything. Because my ex was very approval dependent. He needed society to include him. He had avoidant personality disorder, he got diagnosed later, and he felt that if he has a wife who is a freak, that reflects bad on him. So I had to be the scapegoat to make him look good. During that time that was not clear, but now it is clear. And I don't even feel bad about it, and I don't feel animosity towards him because he's still trapped in a life that he doesn't like to a very big extent, and I'm out of it. So once I'm eligible for parole, I'm sorry to say it, but I don't care what happens in jail anymore. I left it. And you can leave it too. So are you sure that your lack of motivation is not because of some extremely complicated, mysterious psychological problem that needs psychiatric medication? And it's not just because you live a lie? I'm not saying that all medication is wrong, or if you're genuinely depressed, you shouldn't take antidepressants, but we have reached the point where people take antidepressants to suppress themselves, not to heal from some trauma. And you can't heal from ongoing trauma. You can't heal from your sexuality, your own gender, or your own dream, or not wanting to be this fake person, this guy who is aggressive and sociopathic, when you're just, a nice person, you want an easy life, nothing wrong with that. And even now you're going to say, are things now perfect? No, they're not. And I'm actually really getting tired of my own bullshit sometimes. And also, I'm going to make a video about how having an internet business makes your life harder, not easier, like everyone is telling you. But those are topics for the future, and at the end of the day, even when I'm mad and even when I'm sad, at least it's my fault and my choice, and I don't look around for people to blame, and I don't go to sleep thinking, what could have been? What could have been if I actually left that horrible job, and if I left that person who didn't care about me, and we both fell out of love, and if I felt that actually I'm doing something that is me and not imposter me? I suggest you try it, okay? Thank you for watching.